Right, hi everyone. Never done any videos like this before, so I'll just go through how I do it. First thing is, I've got a really big pan. I put that on straight away, get it hot. It's already boiling. Obviously a really big ring underneath gas. Boil my boilies in these. Just pins with rope on. Pop them in. Put them in at an angle, something like that. Make sure the rope's on the outside. Then I can still put the lid on. Don't burn my hands when I'm getting them out. Just take that one out while the water's boiling. You can get better stainless buckets, but they're about 45 quid. I think we're going to get one next. Loads of mushroom trays, just to set me up. Loads of mushroom trays. They're ones for when the boilers have been boiled. Obviously to dry, I've got some more in there for when they've not been boiled. I use a plasterer's bucket. There's already 30 eggs in that. Then I use a plaster mixer. I mix 30 eggs at a time. That's nice and easy for that machine. I've had that a couple of years and it's still fine. Just use a normal standard paddle what comes with it, and yeah, it does it fine. I have everything ready out, so all my stuff I'm going to add into it. I keep things like citric acid just in glass jars, mouse proof, things like that. Base mixes all in tubs, pre-mixed. Belly pins in notebook just to tick things off. Set of digital scales, weigh everything straight in there. There's my helper. She does all the eggs. Then you'll need measuring tools. There's a few bits and bobs in there. What I use, couple of bowls. They're more for hook baits, things like that. See you later. In the garage, loads of buckets. Keep all my base mixes in. Have all those. Some of those if I'm doing small batches for hook baits. I use one of these to mix my base mix in. I still use the plaster mixer. Obviously all this comes out, just a cheap plastic rubber bucket, whatever it's made out of. I always start with the small ingredients, mix them up, and I do 12.5 kilos at a time. Then they go into the buckets so it's quicker. I think these are really important. Metal bins, keep all my dry ingredients in. Never had any problems with mice, rats, anything like that, because everything's in tubs. There's no mess. I would definitely recommend getting some of them. 2 of them were 40 quid I think. I've got some more in the shed, but you know, keep these ones in here. You'll need, I keep spare gas bottles if I'm doing really big batches. Compressor, that's a 24 litre one. Bigger's probably better, but that was what I ended up getting. Then up to here, obviously I've got a couple of plugs. I have a kettle when I'm just doing hook baits, just boil that up. I use a smaller pan, not that huge one. Then I've got bait gun. I just made the stand myself, just it's a bit ropey, does the job though. Plenty strong, you know. That's a 4 or 4.5 kilo gun. Pressure gauge there, so you can just set the pressure, and I've made it so that when I slide this forward, sausages just come out on here. I can chop them with this plastic knife, doesn't damage the top. Roll them out. The boilies come out here. You do get that tray with it, that's just a cleaning brush. But I find that this fills up really quick with 20 mils. It's a 20 mil machine. It's a boiler roller. It's a good bit of kit. I've just doctored one of these so it fits in. Can fit more in, and plus they don't roll out here. They tend to jump out of that. Then I've got some load more mushroom trays here, so I'll fill them up and they'll boil. They'll go on the ones out here to dry. Then obviously bring these ones back in, refill them, depending on how much I'm doing. I'm doing 60 eggs worth today. Then I've got a really big chest freezer, fit a lot of bait in that. And that's basically how I do it. Yeah, it's just sort of a method how I do. I mean, once I've mixed the mix out there, I'll bag it up, just pop it somewhere around here, go make another mix while that one's settling for about half an hour. Then I'll roll it or chop it depending on what I want. And then by the time I've done that, the other one's ready to go, and it just speeds up the process a little bit. I don't really think there's anything else really to say. But as I say, I'm no bait expert in making. It's just how I've done it for a lot of years, and it seems to equip. But biggest tip, definitely get loads of mushroom trays free, don't cost anything to dry. A really big pan, you can boil more really quick, it saves a lot. When I first started, I had a tiny little saucepan, and you know, you're boiling a few boilies at a time, takes forever. One of these, I mean, it's huge. Mia, just go stand near that pan. My daughter, she's fairly tall, she's nearly 5, and that pan, you know, is pretty big. So yeah, it's a good bit of kit. Cost about, I think it was 60 quid, but buy it once and I'm sure that'll last a fair few years, so if not a lifetime. Okay, well, I hope that was some use to some people. Yeah, alright, take care, bye.